Hello, welcome back to Ouija Warriors. We are live on the YouTube stream, and we're also live on my Ginger Ale Comedy Discord and Ginger Ale Comedy on Facebook. As usual, I've got the Oracle of all things Euro, Mr. Ray Fordyce.
Hello.
So it is Friday, the 16th of May, 2025. We have just had the second semi-final yesterday. Ray was watching it live. He's even looked at the final. He even did a live Instagram stream of the final results, which I've linked to in the description. And you may notice the special guest that he has crash his feed just at the very end.
Some idiot just interrupted me and just like, sorry.
You see,
have you really?
Somebody who had a sort of refined and got all 10 of his predictions right, apart from the 9 that you got, didn't they, Ray? Won't let it go. Right, so we are again going to go through the semi-final 2 and tell you who qualified, who didn't, and get ourselves ready for the final countdown. But as is tradition, we start with our latest Eurovision news. Good evening, I'm Christopher John Stephen.
I'm Ray Fordyce.
Our top story. Shock goes across the British nation as Kuti Gatwa, who was tipped to be the announcer of the Eurovision jury results, has had to resign said post. Said post will now be taken up by pop princess Sophie Ellis-Bextor. So, yeah, Ray, what do you think about that? I am gutted. Everyone knows I'm a big Doctor Who fan. So,
yeah. I was a bit sad because I think I know this was supposed to be a whole Doctor Who thing, because before the grand final tomorrow there was but there's the airing of the special Eurovision episode of Doctor Who.
Excuse me, the 903rd Interstellar Song Contest. Please get it right. Like I say, there will be exams afterwards.
Yeah, but
Ray's not a Whovian, just to settle this hash later on. Like I say, we're going to have our Who. Well, it was called the Who Firmavision quiz last year, but that's been upgraded to the Who Blank Ovision quiz because
we're going to play Blankety Blank.
Not quite. Can't get the rights to that, unfortunately, because it's back on the BBC now. Don't get me wrong. We had so much fun doing Blankety Blank at the Edinburgh Fringe a good few years ago. Me and Ray.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Ray did the most packed show of the Fringe that myself and my good wife Debbie, who will be doing the Eurovision reactions as the show goes through, following the final next week. So that will be part of our usual Euro package that you get here on Ouija Warrior for absolutely free. Aren't you lucky, you lovely, lovely people? I should actually say we are live on Ouija Warrior. We're also live on the Ginger Ale Comedy the Ginger Ale Comedy Twitter. Start all that again because that was bad. We're live on the Ouija Warriors YouTube channel. We're also live on the Ginger Ale Comedy Twitch channel. We're also live on Ginger Ale Comedy on Facebook. So if you are watching, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please comment into the show. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know if you're excited for the Eurovision. Let us know what you're up to. Are you planning to spend this weekend's Eurovision frenzy and Doctor Who frenzy and FA Cup frenzy? Although we're not going to be talking about that this time. Because, to be fair, last year we did do this whole Who Firmavision quiz where it was Doctor Who, the Celtic v Rangers final, and the Eurovision. And I think Ray's still a bit better, though, because even though he fared so well on football questions, which is not his forte, he still lost to John Carruthers. So, like I say, at the end of this podcast, we will be doing the Who Blank Ovision quiz yet again. And this is a bit of breaking news. John Carruthers is going to defend his title at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning on the Saturday morning of the Eurovision. So you'll be able to see that again live on Ouija Wars, live on the YouTube channels. So let's see if Ray can get the crown once and for all, or John's going to beat him to it yet again. So, Ray, I hope you're excited. I hope you're slightly worried as well.
Yes. We'll see.
You'll be fine. But yes, returning to the news, of course. There's obviously sort of people are sort of spreading sort of comments about that. Obviously, the BBC being tight-lipped about why you can't do it. But again, if it's sort of personal preference, that's fair enough. If it's sort of doing that's fair enough. Got to admit, I like Sophie Ellis-Bextor fine. I think she's a fine choice. So be good to see her on Saturday night giving the results to the UK jury. But Ray, what do you think?
Just what you said. Bit sad about Ncuti Gatwa not being there. Sophie Ellis-Bextor, I think, will be a good replacement. Who knows? Maybe she'll have fun on the dance floor.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get that then. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next bit of news. Bookies are very apoplectic about the chances of UK at Eurovision. The odds of Remember Monday have been absolutely slashed for them to get in the top 5, top 10 and top 15. And indeed, they are now favourites to come last.
Well, I guess we'll talk about the performance, but I don't know. I know we'll talk about like Blue Monday because you got Blue Monday there. You've got me say, yeah. We'll talk about Remember Monday's performance from the live show, but I'm guessing the fact that it's a bit overshadowed by so many other strong songs, and people. I think the reaction to the song has been a bit mixed, not necessarily for the best, but
yeah. Well, put it like this: they were sort of trailing in about mid-table for winning the Eurovision, but they're also been significantly go slash, and they have sunk down to the bottom since Thursday's performance. They're now some places are only offering evens for them to come last, which, given that there's 26 acts, is unheard of.
So, I guess we'll see what happens on the night. I mean, I never, given the UK's track record, I never get my hopes up too much. So even when Sam Ryder did so well for it, even leading into it, I was still sort of thinking, don't get your hopes up. It's probably not going to happen. We know what our track record's like. So I guess that was a nice surprise when he did do well. But if it happens, just got to roll with the punches, I suppose.
I'm most bitter about it because I remember back a good 15 years ago, I was in the bookies and I was offered 100 to 1 on the UK coming last in Eurovision and getting 0 points. And I didn't bet on it because I thought, okay, surely somebody's going to give us some points. People sort of do like this. And that act was Gemini. I could have made so much money that day than I didn't, and I'm forever bitter about it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less said about that one, the better.
Our final piece of news: anti-booing technology has come to the forefront of Eurovision. There's been some real conflict and worries about songs from particularly sensitive acts such as Israel, and there's been criticism that the EBU is not actually broadcasting a true reflection of the event.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. I kind of see that point of if people are feeling hostile towards an act, It's not pleasant for the act to hear it, so I can understand why they've got the anti-booing technology. And I mean, I've seen, artists getting booed during the scores and seeing them like break down in tears. Classic example, Paulina Gagarina in 2015 for Russia. Every time she was getting 12 points, the crowd was booing, and then at one point she was absolutely in tears with it. So,
Yeah, I mean, what the EBU have actually said is that we use crowd enhancing technology, which is commonplace for all live events, and I mean that is fair enough. You do have a certain amount of artifice when it comes to sort of live events like this, but it's always going to be sort of politically charged, the Eurovision, and I think it's a tough one to call because again, you want a true reflection of the event, but nobody's going to like something where everybody's just sort of completely slagging the stage. And
I mean, it almost sort of turns it sort of into a bit of a pantomime, which I know for some acts it is a bit more of a pantomime. It's just a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun, but it's kind of sort of it's kind of taken away a bit of because the meaning is kind of taken away a bit of the meaning of Eurovision. No, it's about unity and love and bringing people together and just being happy. And then, but I mean, like you say, even though every year they try and say like, music comes before politics, because there's so many countries involved, politics just can't help but sort of take precedence sometimes.
That's very true.
So
that is the end of the news, and we will go on to discuss semi-final 2 and its implications. So let's go through the act. So obviously, semi-final 2, we again had the sort of starting ceremony. This time, the concentrated on the fans of Eurovision, which was the sort of theme of semi-final 2, which was great. And slightly annoying because the EBU paid for 4 super fans to go to Eurovision. And where's the invite from a man here? Hey, where's the invite for Ray? Come on, EBU. Pull a finger out.
EBU, I'm writing a strongly worded letter of complaint to what's his face? Martin Osterdahl. Because like he says, I'm good to go.
Exactly. Was not happy. Still, we did have our 16 acts vying for performance. As usual, we'll put the banner up. So if you don't want to know the results, well, why are you watching this podcast, to be honest? But here they are. So there we go. Sort of check what we've got in the final below as we go through each of the acts that we're on. So our first offering was Australia and the Milkshake Man. Got to admit, it didn't bring all my boys to the yard.
No, it was good fun to watch. I know it's not one of those ones that you should take seriously. So it was funny,
know, but
quite colourful and enjoyable, but novelty acts.
I think it's got to the stage where you can't really go and just take the piss out of, Eurovision will like this anymore. And it's a shame because, Australia have been sort of treasured guests for the past 10 years, but it seems their sort of reign is coming to an end. So in tribute, I am going to drink this nondescript Australian lager throughout tonight.
And in tribute, I will quote the great Catherine Kimball, "That's nice, it's different, it's unusual."
So tickle it, you wrigglers.
Yeah.
That was the wrong brand, wasn't it? Oh, God. Okay, anyway, never mind. Let's move swiftly on to Montenegro and Dobrodati. Now, got to admit, there's a lot of things I did like about this. The whole fan coming out and sort of covering her. All I could think of was the Christmas episode of The Vicar of Dibley where the sort of halo pops up behind her and I sort of thought, eat your heart out, Dawn French. Come on.
Yeah. And that was a very strange costume choice to basically have a giant mattress over there and just look like, a very comfy velociraptor. Like, she was just sort of ready, poised to. Yeah. But it's one of those. It was all right. She did sing it well, but it was totally lost because it never really had much going for it, other than the weird outfit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair play. Like I say, just all looks, no glamour.
Yeah,
as they
that's
say.
it.
I don't know who says that, but that's what they say. All right, moving on to Ireland and Like a Party. Now, it's as if they don't want to win Eurovision anymore.
Well, see, after last year's with Bambi Thug, I thought now that they know that their record of 7 wins is under threat because them and Sweden are now equal. I thought they were actually starting to make an effort to push to get that 8th win.
I think that, but like I say, Sweden, going back to the whole odds, they are now complete front runners to win Eurovision yet again and smash the record. And again, you can see what I mean. This was literally just okay. I'm going to say it. It was Aqua. It literally was Aqua.
Yeah, it was cute. It was fun. I commented on threads that the setup kind of looked like there's a boss battle in one of the Pokemon games where that is very much, it's like set up kind of like that with the pipes and everything, and it's all sort of glittery and glamorous, and that's what all I kept thinking when I saw that. If I can remember the name of the boss battle, then yeah, I'll
just wrote, come on, Bambi, let's go party.
Yeah. So it was cute. It was fun.
You think I'd be mean about that? She voted it through. She was on the jury that voted that through.
Who Bambi Thug?
She was indeed. She was in the RT jury for
that. They're non-binary. They use
sorry.
Them. Yeah. Sorry.
They were on the RT jury for that. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay,
don't want to offend anybody. Please do apologise. Like I say, that just slipped out. But yeah, they were on the jury that voted that in. Partly pissed off Samantha Mumba a great deal, which
yeah.
Got to tell you, I'm not happy about that. That's a 90s Samantha Mumba reference that nobody will get.
Yeah. Well, that's going back a few years. Anyway, yes.
Thanks, Ray. Cheers. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Okay, moving swiftly on.
Just not for Eurovision.
Right. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Latvia was next, and we're in last set now. Ironically, that got me my most retweets of the night because I went, never, 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 never have I ever seen something so repetitive.
No, this was the one I was the most worried about because when I first heard that, I thought, there's something quite ethereal and quite mystical about it, and which I quite liked. It was very, the girls have all got really nice sort of refreshing voices, and they all seem to work in harmony with each other. And no, I think they did a pretty good job. They all worked really well together. None of them were sort of totally overshadowing each other. It was all really, really good. So yeah, I'm really happy they qualified.
Yeah, no, I think they did very well. It'll be interesting to see how they do in the final. Next was Armenia and Survivor. Only 2 words I wrote were virtual insanity, but I'm a big Jamiroquai fan, so I'll allow it. I think it was good. There's always room for a bit of rock nonsense in Eurovision. I think it stands people apart from some of the other songs, which you usually just get the same old stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think he did a good job with what he had because he just kept it simple and just kept, him with the little treadmill sort of moving around and doing the slow-mo running was interesting, though. I still have that same complaint of, like, why did he rely too much on his backing singers for the chorus and just come in when he had to do the break for the thingy bit? So that was my only real gripe about it. But again, everything else he did a really good job with. So
Very true.
yeah.
And finally, to kick off the first section, we had Austria and Wasted Love.
Yeah.
I was very pleased with the poster because I said the best way to enjoy Eurovision is to be wasted. I'll do it again.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely beautiful voice. I wasn't too keen on the stage setup. I get what he was going for, because he keeping in theme with his music video of, he's sort of lost at sea and it's getting a bit stormy. It did, maybe it was just the way the camera was working, but it did kind of look too obvious, like he was just obviously pretending he was in a snow, like a storm at sea. But he wasn't really sort of doing a good job of acting it very well, which was my only gripe. But other than that, he got out all the notes perfectly, especially because he had to get so many really high notes. So that certainly got him through and made me overlook the dodgy staging a bit.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Speaking of dodgy staging, or dodgy stadium. Speaking of dodgy staging, the interval act of this was, of course, our entry in the United Kingdom. And what the hell just happened? Who were pre-qualified?
Yep.
Got to admit, not a fan.
No. Well, I've said this. I think I said this in one of my my top videos. Like, give the girls the due. They can sing really well live. They harmonize perfectly, but yeah, the song is very messy, and I wasn't quite sure what the whole setup of their staging was. Other than the end bit when they sort of look through that love heart and the on their sort of divider thing. That was the only bit of the staging that I thought really worked.
The thing,
and
the thing I said, I'll probably get pelters.
Go ahead.
The thing I said, I'll probably get pelters for this. I said, this is what happens when you get the Disney princess set off of Temu.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So
I know that's probably the bitchiest comment I'm going to do about Eurovision, but
yeah.
You look back in this feed again, and
Yeah.
I will nail my flag to that mast. Well, I could, but there's not allowed to be any flags in Eurovision. I noticed they've put the kibosh on that.
Yeah. Well, the rule is the audience can have other flags. The acts can't.
Yeah,
they can only have the flag of their country. So I did see a lot of pride flags, and I saw a lot of Palestine flags as well. So yeah. So at least the audience were making statements.
That's true. Anyway, let's move on to the second section of the Eurovision semi-final, and we had Greece, Astronomata. Again, not sure what to make it. I was humming on for ages, thinking, "Will this go through? Will it not?" And I can't. I mean, I'm glad I went the side of it'll roll through. But I think both you and me thought it's probably going to be the one that's going to go through 10th.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know Judith Ralston could sing so well, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, Judith Ralston was once a trained soprano, so.
Well, there you go. Maybe it's her.
Yeah. But yeah.
We do the weather BBC Scotland this week. We need to check that out before.
Yeah. But anyway, going on to Greece's song. So going into this, I remember watching the performance from the national final, and there was some of the elements of the performance in that just didn't work with the song, like the way the Chad dancers that just didn't really do anything. They weren't So I don't know if maybe she sort of listened to that critique I said of that, and she edited their staging, edited her performance, just kept it nice and simple, and that worked so much better. And vocally, she hit all the notes. That's so yeah. It's probably going to be my biggest climber of this year because I had it about 33rd or 34th, and I've put it up to like almost like into my top 10.
Hey, she qualified. She did it. She came up with the goods. So
Yeah.
I'll credit her. Let's see how she does in the final.
Mhm.
Right, next. Oh, here's the one that's going to put a wedge between us two: Lithuania and Tavoskia. This is my favorite of the second semi-final. You're not so keen.
No, I just thought. Uh, I mean, it was nice that they tried something different with a bit of rock, but I just didn't feel it went anywhere. And the way it ends is just screaming ah, just constantly for like a good 30, 40 seconds. I'm just like, by then I'm just like,
I'm
oh,
sorry,
shut up
but
and get off.
no, I'm going to disagree with you greatly there. I love that. It just gave me so much Nirvana energy, and I tapped into that because it all it took me back to was sort of rocking out at school discos with "Smells Like Teen Spirit," where
Yeah.
so it might as well have just been doing "oh wow, oh
Yeah.
wow" at the end,
Yeah.
and I loved it. I was made up that they qualified.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll just agree to disagree on that one.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see
Well,
how
mate,
the.
it's fine. We can't agree on everything.
I've already put out a bet to be for them to be the best Balkan, which means they have to beat Estonia. Which
Mhm.
not many people go for that, but I'm going to stick. I'm
Estonia
going
is
to
one of
stick my
those
neck
love it
out
or
and
hate it
say.
ones, but
But anyway, we'll see how that pans out. Right, we'll move on to Malta and serving. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I definitely wanted a double helping of that. That was awesome.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the song certainly lived up to its name. It was serving. She was sassy. Came on, belted out all the notes. Um, really, and really served with like the dancers and the staging. Like, didn't go too over the top with um, like gimmicks or anything like that. Just kept that one
No,
thing, her
I think
dress reveal, and then delivered brilliantly.
I mean, our commentator in this country, Rylan, said, give you for big Charlie XCI vibes. Got to admit, I'm not a fan with Miss Charlie XCI, but if that's what that is, then I'm all for it. I will change my back catalogue of music to incorporate that because that was just a banger. No question
Yeah, that
whatsoever.
was
I think that will do
absolutely it.
very, very well in the final.
Yep.
Okay, last in the section was Georgia and Freedom, and I, like most of Europe, it seems, didn't want your freedom.
Yeah, it was. She's got a powerful voice. The song just didn't serve it though. Um, it was a bit clunky. Um, it was all voice and no substance.
Yeah,
And the staging, the dancers, they were very fast paced, which doesn't really fit in if you're going to sing like a power ballad. So yeah, it was all wrong.
right. So we had a second break section with one of the big five, and it was France's Maman. I've got to admit, powerful stuff, very powerful
Yeah,
stuff. Again, France are one of those nations that they always just do very, very well, and
yeah.
they don't mess with the formula like other nations do. You know you're going to get a powerful sort of singing ballad from France.
Mhm.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I guess is the motto for them.
Yeah. So going into that, I remember I'd watched was the performance, or the music video they put up, which was a performance at some sporting event, which it was one of those, like what was said about Georgia, nice voice, but the performance just wasn't doing anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one where I saw it live on stage. I was like, okay, right, I can see what she's doing with it now. And yeah, sort of reeling through the sand. I can kind of see what she's going for now. It's kind of sort of dealing with trauma, and sort of singing about how she's dealing with loss of her mother and how she's now a mother herself. And yeah, she didn't get too over dramatic with it all.
No, I don't think so. She did.
Although I will say one thing, I know it's like quite a serious song, quite a powerful ballad, but there was a bit of it where the sand was sort of blowing around behind her, and it actually kind of looked like she had really bad diarrhea.
Oh, Ray, you cheapen everything, don't you?
I know, but I saw it and I was just like, she looks like she's pooing herself.
Right, anyway, moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
So third section, we had Denmark and Hallucination. I mean, loved it. Really liked it. Glad it went through, but I think somewhere somebody's just going, "Oh, Mom, so embarrassing."
Well, the outfit, certainly, it was the blue of Margaret's shower curtain, if you get the reference.
Cheryl Baker's looking good for her age, and literally just put
it's one of those.
Token women between 40 and 50 is looking good for her age.
Yeah. No, it's one of those songs. I think it's going to be sort of low middle ground, but everyone's going to really enjoy it. It's a bit of a bop. I'll think of it like the way people liked Austria's last year. It was a real dance floor banger. Might not do as well in the scores, but it'll certainly. I think a lot of people will listen to it after the show.
True. Sorry, go ahead. Right.
I was just going to say, I think the crowd loved it because you really heard the crowd cheering for that when she was playing. So
I agree. Definitely won the crowd over. Next we have Chechia and Kiss Kiss Goodbye. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down.
Yeah.
Again, it just wasn't one of those ones that gelled at all. I think it was just sort of it was there, and that's
it was one of those. I could sort of see where he was going with some of the song and with some of the performance. But yeah, like you say, I don't think it stood out very much.
No.
I think it's one of those that he was trying too hard to be flamboyant and it just got lost.
Yeah. Okay, next on Luxembourg, La Poupée dans le Throne, or as we'd say in this country, Like a Puppet on a String. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, La Poupée mon leçon.
I mean, okay, go admit, strong contender, very, very good. The fact that if you're resident Euro buff, the first thing you're going to be thinking about is Sandy Shaw for the first couple of minutes. But my God, it don't have key change properly near the end, and I'm kind of for it. I think it'll do very, very well. I'm going to stick out and say top 5, definitely.
Okay, fair enough. I don't think it's top 5, but I think it's definitely very enjoyable. You can tell it was a tribute. I know you keep mentioning Sandy Shaw. I think the one that we're referencing the most was France Gall, Poupée de Cire, Poupée de Sang, from the winner of 1960. I think it's 1967. I think. But yeah, she really elevated the performance from the national final performance.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I will put my neck out right now. If Luxembourg gets top 5, in fact, I'm going to put a wager on it right now.
Okay.
Luxembourg getting in the top 5. Loser has to do a forfeit of the winner's choice at the improv show on Ray Fordyce's spectacular in the Fringe.
Okay.
Want to take the bet?
Okay.
No weakness in front of our one viewer. Come on.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Right, shake on it. Done. Right, so yes, that'll be the forfeit. I will get the appropriate music because this has been done in very much improv circles for many years. So if Luxembourg get top 5, I will do the forfeit of your choosing. If Luxembourg fail to get the top 5 for the final, I will do a forfeit of your choosing on the first improv show on your Fringe Spectacular, which we will obviously be plugging very heavily at the end of this.
Yeah, of course.
Excellent. Game on. The reason I'm probably filibustering so much is the last act in that section was Israel's one, and to be honest, I have nothing to say on that. It was there, and
yeah, it was.
So let's move swiftly on. Germany and
okay.
I really didn't have. I really didn't.
It was all right. Not. Yeah, it was all right. She sung well. Yeah, it was all right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like I say, just. Anyway, I'm going to move swiftly on. Like I say, I even just wrote meh in my notes for sort of going through this. So let's move on to the last of the Big Five who performed in Thursday night, and Germany and Baller pre-qualified.
Mm-hmm.
I must admit they got a lot of balls to submit that, but again, I think Euro dance pop at its finest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one that would sort of work well on a dance floor, but doesn't work for Eurovision. I know they tried enhance it with the light up cello. I did sort of get it noticed, but everything else about it sort of faded into the background.
Yeah, I mean Germany struggled generally. Like I say, they saved us from last place hell last year. So God knows what's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Still. Anyway, we'll move on. So the last two acts we had Serbia. I can't even remember what I wrote. Serbia, Mila. Oh yeah, nice to see Jason Momoa getting work.
I thought he looked a bit more like Jonathan Van Ness.
Okay, yeah, I can see that as well. Yeah.
Just like I go on, I spray, delay, and walk away.
You've maybe not seen Jason Momoa singing "What a Feeling" in the T-Mobile ad for the Super Bowl that happened last year, which I did link to in my Twitter. But that's the vibes I got off of it. Sadly, I don't. Again, it was just one of these ones that didn't seem to gel with the voting public. Sadly,
yeah, I mean, I mentioned when we were doing the previews, and I said, "Oh, he needs to edit his performance." I think he edited it too much. It was too uninteresting. So he went from too much to not enough.
That's true. Mm. And lastly, we had Finland and Ikkomo. My God. Again, I did my usual joke of this is the point in the evening where I think, oh shit, have I transmitted my OnlyFans to the TV by accident?
No. Song itself is all right, but Erika Vickman just delivered. That was all about the performance for that one.
Oh, yeah.
She has sass, and the way she goes up on that big microphone stand at the end, sparks flying. That's how she gets the crowd going with the performance. So,
and basically any song that you can go here we and go to, I think you do pretty well.
Yeah. Well, in Dundee, that's pretty much any song.
That's true. That's very true.
They could sing "Here We" to a fucking funeral dirge.
Right, so that was semi-final 2. Now, Ray, it's the moment you've not been waiting for.
Right. Okay.
So,
Do your work.
it was called last year the Who Firmavision Quiz. This year it will be renamed to the Who WWE Vision Quiz.
Oh, fuck.
That's right. So, this is the way it's going to work. First round is the same as last year with the names round. Last year, what happened was I did 15 men's names, which were either characters in Doctor Who, Eurovision winners, or people who scored more than one goals in all firm matches. We've adapted it this year and made it a bit less sexist. This is the ladies' edition of the names round. I am going to show you 15 names on the screen, and they will actually come up on the screen this time. I've actually fixed it. This because John had to do it by my vocals only. These names will either be companions of the Doctor in the TV show Doctor Who, third place Eurovision acts, so acts that came third place in Eurovision, or WWE Women's Champions from 1956 to 2010.
Has WWE really been going on that long?
Oh, yes, it has. And for some time longer. Like I say, they only started letting women in 1956, so we can tell how long it's gone since then.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, I really wouldn't besmirch WWE too much, given the person who owns this channel has their own WWE channel based on wrestling. So
I'm not trying to besmirch it. I just know feck all about it.
Well, I think John is in the same boat. So again, you're going to be at equal odds with John because neither of you saw all about football last year. So
yeah, okay.
And it kind of works if Mr. Durning himself decides to enter, or indeed we get a last-minute entry from a certain lady whose reactions will be part of the Eurovision final. Yeah. Right. Okay. Ray, are you ready for the first round of the Who WWE Eurovision quiz?
Okay.
Right.
Hit me.
Here we go. Our first female is Chanel.
That's
or Channel.
Spain 2023, 2022. Sorry, that was slow mo. Yeah, so that's Eurovision.
That's correct. Yes.
That was my favorite from that year.
Scoring mechanism.
Yeah.
Okay. So point to you for that. Well done. Yeah. Yes, she came second she came third in 2022, representing Spain.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Next, Trish Stratus. Is she a companion of the Doctor? Is she a third place Eurovision act, or is she the former WWE Women's Champion?
I want to say WWE Women's Champion.
You are correct. She had 7 reigns as the WWE Women's Championship between 2001 and 2006. Well done.
Okay.
And she's still competing to this day, which is good to know.
Good honor.
Okay, next one. Perry Brown.
Ooh. I want to say that's another WWE one.
Are you sure?
Fuck it, yeah, why not?
I'm afraid you're wrong. She's a companion of the Doctor. She was a companion of the 5th Doctor and 6th Doctor in season 21, 22, and 23 back in the 1970s.
So that would have been the... Hold on.
Colin Baker and Peter Davison.
Oh, right. I was about to say Peter Davison.
Yeah.
I was going to say the one after him.
Colin Baker was the 6th, Peter Davison was the 5th. She's one of the very rare companions that actually did multiple Doctors. So there we go.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on. Next one. Noelle Cordier.
Who? Doctor Who?
Eurovision, I'm afraid. She came third for France in 1967.
Oh, right. Oh, you got one of the early ones. Yeah.
Well, you tried to use this excuse last year, and I'm sorry, but you need to know them all, my friend, if you're going to progress in this quiz. Mm-hmm. Right, next. Sensational Cherry.
A name like that's got to be WWE.
You are correct. Well done.
Yeah.
She was women's champion in 1987.
All right. Okay.
Next,
Oh,
Zlata Ognievich.
that was 2013. My favorite year. That one. She was third place there. She represented Ukraine with gravity, and yeah, she was also my third place. But yeah, 2013 is one of my favorite years.
Perfect answer. Well done. Point to you. Okay, next, Dodo Chaplet.
That sounds Doctor Who.
You're correct. Well done. She was a companion of the first Doctor, William
Oh,
Hartnell,
right.
back in series, very much back in the series 3. So she was back in the 1960s, Dodo Chaplet.
Mm-hmm.
So well done. Okay, starting to gain momentum. You only got wrong a couple. Next one, Alundra Blaze.
That sounds WWE.
You're correct. Well done. WWE Women's Champion in 1993 and 1995. One of the longest reigning WWE Women's Champion before the belt was recycled before the belt was retired in 2010. Bit of wrestling knowledge for you there. Next one, Zoe Harriet.
I think she's sounds like one of the more recent Doctor Who companions.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you the point, but she's not recent. She was actually a companion of the second Doctor,
Was she?
Oh, right, back in Series 5 and Series 6. So that was the tail end of the 1960s. But hey,
okay. I got it, Doctor Who.
Yeah, you were wrong as long as you got the point. Yeah, we'll give you the point. Not a problem. Okay, next, Grace Holloway.
I think that's Eurovision.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're wrong. She was a companion of the 8th Doctor. I mean, fair enough, bit unfair because obviously Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor only had one TV outing in the TV movie, but Grace Holloway was a companion of that. The woman who played her, Daphne Ashbrook, was also on a other well-known sci-fi franchise. For a bonus point, do you know what that was?
Star Trek.
Correct. Well done.
Oh.
She played Ensign Melina in Star Trek Deep Space Nine in the Ensign Melora in the episode Ensign Melora in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So bonus point to you there. Well done, Ray. Okay, let's move on. Wendy Richter.
I had no idea, so I'm going to say WWE.
You're correct. Women's champion in 1985. Oh, you're storming these WWEs.
Yeah.
It just seems by accident, but we'll take it. Okay, let's move on. Orlette Zola.
A Who companion?
Again, you're storming WWE, but you're getting it wrong in your home subject. She was a Eurovision third place runner-up. She came third place for Switzerland in 1982.
Oh, the year I was born.
Then you should know that better, my dude. Come on. All right. Okay. Only 3 left. Velvet McIntyre.
That's got to be WWE.
You're correct. She was the women's champion in 1986.
Yeah, the name like Velvet. That's
no
got
relation to Drew McIntyre, but you never know.
No relation to Michael McIntyre either.
Wants to see him in WWE. All right, 2 left. This is the penultimate one. Belinda Chandra.
Eurovision.
Wrong. Doctor Who companion. And you should have got that. She's the current companion of the 15th Doctor. And she will be appearing in the Intergalactic Song Contest episode this Saturday, which is why I'm bigging it up a bit. Okay. Your final one.
Oh, that was definitely Eurovision.
Mary Spiteri.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Okay, and
one's
do you want to
definitely
hazard a guess for the
Eurovision.
country? All right,
It
yeah.
was
Well,
either
you're
us
all
or it was
right. It is
Ireland.
Eurovision. I will give you. Sorry.
I want to say it was either us or it was Ireland.
Okay, which one are you going to go for?
Ireland.
It was Malta, actually. She
Oh,
came
right.
second in 1992. Sorry, she came
Hmm.
third in 1992.
No.
Okay, Ray.
At least we
Well,
got
let's
it was
talk. So
Eurovision. So.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So out of a possible 17, you got 11 out of 17 there. So not too
Okay.
bad. I've got to admit,
Yep.
he's done pretty well. Okay, so we'll move to the second half of the quiz. Now, I'm very excited about this. I did slightly tease it to you when we were doing the lovely Andrew and Ray Ginger and Gay show, but this is the first time I've done it. I'm very excited because I'm going to emulate one of my quiz show heroes and one that sadly passed away since we recorded it last, the great Henry Kelly. We are going to do the Going for Gold round.
Okay.
The best Eurovision quiz, the best European quiz, bar none.
Yeah.
So the way this is going to work is we're going to emulate the final round of the show. What usually happened was you'd have two contestants going against each other, and Henry Kelly would narrate a "Who am I?" question, where he'd go through a lot of facts and information about a particular question, and the contestants will have to guess within a certain period in order to earn points. And that's what I'm going to emulate with you, Ray. So obviously, you've been playing this yourself. What I've got 4 descriptions of people who are associated with, as before, Eurovision, WWE, Doctor Who, and what I'm going to call the wild card. And it's your job in who they are. Oh, and we disappeared for a minute there. Oh, we're back. We're back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Ray, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
There we go. All right. So I don't know if we lost transmission there, so we'll repeat that. So essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe a famous person who's either associated with Eurovision, Doctor Who, WWE, or what I'm going to call the wild card. You will get to pick which one of the people I speak about, but I'm going to give you a very, very esoteric clue to each of the 4 of them, which you've now seen on your screen.
Okay. And I have to guess each of them, but okay.
Yeah, so the way it works is my descriptions, I've sort of tried to check this in the last about a minute. If you get it within the first 30 seconds, we're obviously going to do the most obscure stuff, you'll get 4 points. If you get it within 45 seconds, you get 3 points. If you get it within 60 seconds, you get 2 points. And if I have to read the entire description, you just get 1 point.
Right. Do I just shout out when I know the answer?
Just shout out when you know the answer. If you were wrong or you get it wrong, we'll just stop and continue with the description. But we'll see what we can get at that. So essentially, you've got a possible 16 points to get from all 4 of these.
Okay. Right, let's go. Well, let's be boring and let's do them in order. So let's start with 17.
Okay. 17, you'll go first. Okay, let me just get the clock up. Okay. Okay, so you have 1 minute in the clock in the immortal words of Henry Kelly. Are you ready and happy to play?
Yeah.
Right. So the first one is 17. Here we go. I was born April 23rd, 1977 in West Newbury, Massachusetts, the USA, and moved to California in 1998 to pursue a bodybuilding career. I switched to my current profession in 1999, making my debut for a company with the initials UPW. My first starring film role was in The Marine in 2006, And
Is this
again,
The Rock?
praise for no, that's
Dwayne The Rock
incorrect. Sorry.
Johnson.
Nope.
Oh shit.
And again, praises for my performance in Trainwreck, Ferdinand, Blockers, and most notably Bumblebee in 2018, a reboot of the Transformers film franchise. I released my only studio album, You Can't See Me, in 2005, which peaked at number 15 on the Billboard 200. I'm currently embarking on my farewell tour from in-ring wrestling, which I announced a surprise appearance at WWE's Money in the Bank on July 6, 2024.
I'll
Okay,
just go
that's the
through all the
timeout.
wrestlers I know.
Any guesses?
The Undertaker.
I'm afraid not. The answer was
Hulk
John
Hogan.
Cena.
Ah, right, okay.
It was John Cena. Sorry, Ray, no points in that one.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's go
well,
Ample then.
Let's go for Ample. Let's see how you fare in the next one. Are you
Okay,
ready?
go.
I'm
Go.
happy to play.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. In my original incarnation, I acquired an apprentice job at Swindon Works at the age of 14. I moved to my current island residence in 1901, joining A.W. Dry & Co. at Tidmouth. On their recommendation, I became an engineer for 3 separate transportation companies successively on said island, becoming general manager of the North Western Railway in 1923. I was promoted to director in 1936 and was given my current position when the railway was nationalised in 1948. I was awarded a baronetcy by the British Parliament for my achievements in railway management.
Oh, Dr. Beeching.
No, I'm afraid not. I retired in 1954. I was superseded by my son Charles Topham Hatt, who retired in 1984, and was also superseded by his son Stephen Topham Hatt, who still holds the position of controller to this day. Any guesses?
So somebody railway related. I'm trying to think of anyone else who's railway related.
Think about who you worked with before. Who have you worked with very recently? Can't give you long. Come on, Ray. No, sorry. Andrew's not going to be happy with you. The answer is Sir Topham Hatt the First, aka the Fat Controller.
Well, you didn't tell me it was a fictional person. Fuck's sake.
I said in my original incarnation, and I said there'd be a wild card. I didn't say why. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Ray, come on, man. You 0 points out of 8 so far. You really need to pick up the pace. Right. Our next one, Teeth. Are you ready?
Okay, go.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. I was born in Scotland Road in the Vauxhall area of Liverpool on 20th January 1934. My mother, Mary Jane Nee Fleming, was a cleaner and devout Catholic. My father was a seaman and was largely absent from the family due to being away at sea. I undertook my national service in the Royal Army Medical Corps, serving from 1955 until 1957. Upon leaving the army, I served in the Merchant Navy, but then took up acting around 1956, joining the Rose Bruford College of Speech and Drama in Sidcup. I became a professional actor in the late 1960s. Although I am known for my roles in the television series Medic.
Tom Baker?
Yep, correct. Well done.
Yes!
And you got it within the 30 or 45 seconds time limit, so you get 3 points for that. Well done.
Yay.
I'll read the rest of the question. Although I'm known for my roles in the television series Medics, Randall and Hopkirk Deceased, and Monica the Glen, I also provided narration for the television comedy series Little Britain. I'm best known for having played the fourth and longest incarnation of the Doctor in the science fiction television series Doctor Who from 1947 to 1974 to 1981.
Nice.
Right, Ray, so you got 3 points back. Well done.
Yeah. Tog.
Right. Are you ready for your final question?
Go for it.
Here we go. I was born in Limerick Island in 1938 and got my big break in my 20s, joining the national broadcaster of Ireland, RTE, as a newsreader and announcer after seeing a newspaper advertisement inviting applicants. In 2005, I acquired British citizenship in addition to my Irish nationality and was awarded a knighthood in the same year. I was a leading media personality in both Ireland and Britain from the late 1960s and was often referred to as a national treasure.
Terry Wogan.
Correct!
Good. Thank you very much for mentioning
There you go. And you got it within 30 seconds, so you get the full four. Well done.
Yay!
I'll read the rest of it. Despite my death in 2016, I still hold the world record for the longest televised golf putt. In addition to my weekday radio show, I was best known for work in television, including my BBC One chat show, presenting Children in Need, the game show Blankety Blank, and Come Dancing.
Yeah.
Right. So, Ray, your final score out of a possible... I can't add up. Give me a minute. 16 equals 33. So out of a possible 33, you have come with 18.
Okay.
Again, more than halfway, which is what you did last year.
Yeah. See it.
Now, again, because you were voted as a champion last year, you got to go second. So you're the challenger this year. And we are going to have John Carruthers coming in to defend his title live on the Ouija Warrior tomorrow at 10 a.m. So set your alarm, folks. This is going to be epic because remember, to my knowledge, John knows sod all about wrestling either, but he's a big Doctor Who being and it's got his own podcast about that. So this is where the roles literally reverse. We saw it last year. I think it's going to be another battle for the ages this year. And who knows? We might even get a third contender, depending on what happens in the future. Because, like I say, the other people who are involved in this podcast tend to know quite a bit about wrestling. Anyway, that is it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. If indeed you have at some point during the last hour, we will be, as usual, doing your reactions to the Eurovision final live. I will be tweeting and indeed blue skying like a proverbial mofo. Ray will be on the other side of the internet with the on the old Facebook and threads, won't you, Ray?
Yep. Yeah, so find me Fordyce Ray on threads, and depending on my situation, I will try and do a live stream from while the scores are being read out on my Instagram.
I promise I won't butt in this time. Mainly because I'll probably be too drunk by that point.
But do feel free if I do feel free to join in and like comment and stuff like that.
That'd be nice. I'll be tweeting on. I'll be on. Well, I'm not going to call it X. I'm never going to call it X, but I'm going to be tweeting on Ginger Ale Comedy, and I'll be doing the same on Blue Sky. You can get us both on. You can get me on Ginger Ale Comedy at bsocial.com. However you do the addresses and that, I'm still getting used to it, but it's great. It really is great. So check us out and on those social medias, and we will be reunited for our now traditional burn down, where we'll get Ginger Media Limited impresario Andrew Durning, no doubt, in to get his take on things. Your former partner, although I'm not better. I just introduced you to. I mean, you could thank me.
Okay.
I always like to play the matchmaker. You know me.
Yeah.
Anyway, anyway, that is it for tonight. Thank you very much, Ray, for joining me once again and participating in my madness. All set for the final next year. So
absolutely,
next year. Oh god, we're going to do it next year as well now. Oh my god. All set for the final tomorrow in Switzerland. So good night, Europe. Good morning, Australia. We will see you tomorrow for the big one. Bye-bye.
Ciao.